Welcome. This is episode 19 of my Let's Play of the USA. At the end of the last video, the Russians. I'm sorry, I was reading a news article on another computer. The Germans had just invaded Norway 2 videos ago. In the last video, we had not done anything other than a logistical bomb, an attempt to slow them down, because we were concentrating on other things at that time. You see, my fleets are still not back up to full repair yet from the beating they took. And in fact, Nimitz off the coast of Australia is getting hit with repeated air attacks. So at this point, I'm going to base him back into Truck so that he can repair. And then I'll start the game. We'll start on speed 3. And looks like Japan is trying to cross over to Truck. That's not going to go anywhere. You can see they're using one Marine division, and his lack of supply is negative 4750. And you can see I've got an entire corps, the 3rd Army Corps, they're defending. So that's nothing's going to happen there. Now we've got Nimitz repairing also. Okay, we got some fighter training. What do we want to add? Looks like this is doing well. Navy's doing well. We are fighting. It is 1944, so at this point let's see if any industry can. Okay, I'm gonna invest in education. That'll give us another technology slot, which will come in handy. Let's check out Norway again. We'll wait a moment to see what this attack wing looks like when it attacks these Germans. Oh yeah, nicely done. They're really working them over. Of course, the infrastructure here is going to be totally destroyed. So let's back up one and bomb hell. And we'll look at Africa. Alright, these guys are recovering nicely. I want to look at my... Right, we've got MacArthur, which the organization regain rate and the supply consumption from Eisenhower. And naval base efficiency, that's good. That is very good combinations there. You can see the Axis have completed 11 victory conditions, but we're not ready to give up yet. Put these CAGs back on CAG duty. I'm going to come over here and see about port bombing Romani. Port strike, because obviously they have some planes in, some ships in there. Oh, a transport flotilla. We definitely want to get rid of that. Alright, Halsey's almost fully repaired. Let's look at my production sliders. Ah, that's why. Alright. We want to pause Stopped him from moving into this region, this province, and follow up with him. Alright, so we've gotten rid of fighter ground crew training. Alright, we can get rid of that one. 46 is a good year. Check back on industry. We're going to do electronic computing. Again, that will speed up our research. Going to put the CAGs back on CAG duty. Since we've destroyed the transport. See if we can use the canal yet. Looks like we can. Okay, so we can use the canal with just those 2 provinces taken. That means the British can use it again. Fighter, ground control, and destroyer, anti-aircraft. Alright, looking back at I want to go with supply organization. And I'm actually going to use that 0.68 and throw in supply transportation. Don't need any additional leaders at this time. Officers. As soon as these have totally reorganized, we're going to start again. We're going to have a march all the way over to Benghazi. Now I'm going to have these strategic bombers cease for now. You can see that these attack bombers have totally destroyed that German unit. Let's start them in on this one. And I haven't had to take any land forces there yet. Let's see how well they're doing. Okay, just starting. They're starting on the AT. NAV, ground training, and pilot training. Both at 46, which is good. Fighters are still going up. It's all looking good. I guess I'm going to start on land forces technology now. We'll start with operational level organization. This allows the units to attack longer, attack more frequently. There's less of a cooling off time in between attacks. You can see now that it's 96 hours. So the next one will be reduced, or it will be reduced to 96 hours, one or the other. And then, of course, I like to do the large front and guerrilla warfare because it reduces headquarters supply consumption. And anything that can reduce supply consumption is generally good in my book. It does have some other positives, but that's what I generally care about. Alright, so Halsey is completely repaired. Now I'm looking for, I can see some Japanese forces here, so we want to come over here and do a port strike. We don't want them to have free range. We want to deplete their forces. Go back to the land tab. Okay. And while that is going on, I'm trying to find a garrison unit. Let's see what's in production. Alright, so I don't have a whole lot of garrisons. But what I do have is the 4th Army Corps. And the 1st. I'm going to take the 1st Army Corps and try to sneak them in to Guam. That way that will free up my Marines, because you can see right now the only thing on Guam are the Marines. And I don't want them to pull garrison duty. So once the 1st Army Corps gets to Guam, I'm going to take the Marines, and we're going to take Saipan. At least we're going to try to take Saipan. We'll see how that works. We don't want this guy to slip in there. So we'll pause him and send this one in. Alright, looks like there are at least 2 ships in this port. Let's see what there is actually in there. Subs, yes. Always enjoy taking out submarines. We had some units upgrade, that's a good thing. I would like to destroy both those submarine flotillas, fighter targeting, and port strike. What do you know? Port strike will come in real handy right now. Again, we're going on the land route. Both submarine flotillas are destroyed. And you know what? Let's check out the port size here. We've knocked the port down, so those Marines are not getting much supply at the moment, which is fine with me. So let's move Halsey and King back to Guam. And we'll check in on the Med. Yeah, see the British are now using, now that port, now that we've opened up the Suez Canal, the British are now using it again. Imagine they're going to do something here. They're going to try and reinforce or move back, or who knows. But they can do it now. That's the important part. Alright, we're going to have Arnold come back and rest for a bit. Look at there. They're attacking Guam. Well, it's very fortunate then that I had just sent reinforcements to Guam and that my Navy is moving back. Let's see how this is going to work out. Six ships. Actually, yeah, this should work out just fine. 2 destroyer flotillas, 3 destroyer, 4, 5, okay. Transport flotilla. Like they're trying to withdraw to Saipan. I'm going to leave the battleship fleet here and take the carrier fleet north to engage them again. Now you see destroyer flotilla, 2 landing craft flotillas, and 2 transport flotillas. And let's see if Halsey can clean up house here. Excellent. The destroyers got away, which is fine with me. Now, looks like this. I wish these sliders would stay where you put them. That's the only thing that bugs me. Well, maybe not the only thing, but that does bug the heck out of me. You see this transport flotilla should... Okay, basically it's fully repaired. Now, while we're here, let's go ahead and take out Saipan if we can. We're going to send in the 1st Marine Division. Looks like they are defending with 1 Marine Division. Little naval battles as they try to leave the port there, Saipan. A transport flotilla that brought the 1st Army Corps over is being attacked. Obviously from aircraft from Saipan. While Geiger and the 1st Marines are working on Saipan, let's check back in on the Med. since we've opened it up for the British. And as soon as this flotilla, you can see that they've been working hard on knocking out this port and the ships based in it. I'm going to go ahead and clean up. I'm going to go ahead and give orders for my forces to clean up North Africa by holding shift and right clicking on the exact route I want them to take. Now that these guys are almost fully repaired, fully reorganized, although it is taking an inordinate amount of time. So let's go ahead and take Mersada. Who's going to give up first? Organization of 59, organization of 45. Looks like the Japanese will, but the 1st Marines are going to be very tired. Go ahead and have this guy move ahead a couple. Right now, I think it's time to consider dropping somebody. I can see they've brought in either reinforcements cannot quite reach them. What have we got to drop over there? Well, we can drop the 4th. We'll take the 9th Transport Flotilla, move them over, pick up the 4th, and we'll go and drop them in Norway. See that I'm going to base both fleets in Alexandria and then use the CAGs for air intercept missions. You can see that the Italians are bombing my forces in North Africa. We don't want that. Nav tactics. Excellent. Heading back to the land tab. Still working on land. And it looks like the 1st Marines are on the verge of taking Saipan. Excellent. Another airfield eliminated from the Japanese use, which is always a good thing. Now they're going to try to invade across the islands here into Kwajalein. And it looks like a little naval combat from the Japanese ships that are leaving the port of Saipan. Looks like they're going to run into King, so we're going to let them be for now. I'm going to move the transport flotilla carrying the 2nd, 3rd Marines into Saipan. I'm going to grab the 8th Transport Flotilla and take the 2nd Army Corps and move them to Saipan. So once again, my Marines are not doing garrison duty. They're too important to do garrison duty. Now, Nimitz and Kalbfuss are fully repaired, so we're going to move Kalbfuss over to, what do we have here? Excellent, another naval battle. Nobody lost anything, but again, looks like they're going to move into the battleship fleet. Check my production. More upgrades just came completed. They did. They moved right into King and his waiting battleship fleet. Excellent. We're going to try to follow them with King. And we'll send Halsey down also. In the meantime, the battleship fleet should go in next to Kwajalein, and that should keep the Japanese from moving across here, and it will also be able to bombard them and lower their morale organization level. And next I'm going to get Yap. Ulithi and Yap. As soon as the Army Corps gets here to relieve the Marines, Midway being attacked. Outstanding. The Japanese are on the move. Well, we're going to send Nimitz over to Midway. I don't think anything's going to happen here because if you recall, the Japanese should be... Well, maybe they've repaired their port because it doesn't look like they have any problems with the supply right now. We'll have Nimitz go interdict this invasion of Midway. And I'm going to go ahead and take out this port as soon as I get an opportunity, as soon as my Marines are relieved. Nope, not going to let you sneak in there. Alright, the Battle of Midway. Nimitz should be able to take care of this. I'm pretty sure of that. And the battleship fleet off of Kwajalein has intercepted another Japanese fleet, as you can see, sinking some. Now you can see here they've gone from, well, here's another one at Midway. Nagumo again, same force. We're going to follow him this time. You see they've got light cruiser, destroyers, and transport flotilla. The OE, I don't know how to pronounce that. They lost destroyer fleet, destroyer flotilla, and transports. And we'll head back up here. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna, if they're gonna get away, we're gonna let them go this time. Gonna move down to Eniwetok. I can see that the Second Marine Corps, I'm sorry, the Second Army Corps has arrived, which means the Marines are ready to rock and roll again. And let's check on the 8th Transport Flotilla. It's got a long way to go yet. And the 9th is ready. We're going to rebase to Bergen. We're going to take Fletcher, let him rest for a bit, 1 day, and then rebase him to Bergen. He's going to provide cover for the transport fleet that's going to land in Trondheim. I want to stop that logistics bombing because I'm going to hamper myself when my troops land there. Alright, now let's just have these guys move all the way to here. This brigade follow the southern route. Maybe not. We're going to stop. I didn't realize that they're out of organization. We'll move down with the 93rd Infantry. Alright. My units are all being upgraded at a timely pace, which I do like. I don't like this right here. So let's do this. Let's take the Marines and let's end this threat coming from this port. You can see they just took Kwajalein, 2 Japanese Marine divisions. Looks like this is the province that they used to come across. Got there just in time before they could actually get to Kwajalein. And that gives the 8th Fifth Army Corps. I'll send the 8th over, 8th Transportation Fleet, to pick up the 5th Army Corps, and we'll put them at Kwajalein. Alright. Let's check in on Fletcher. Looks like he's going to arrive before the transports. Obviously he's traveling at 21 kilometers, or traveling at 18. Alright, now let's move in the transport fleet with the Marines. Move in Halsey. We're going to start with the 1st Marines, of course, as usual. Looks like he's going to do it. Battleship anti-aircraft, another excellent update. Now what I'm going to do first is send Fletcher in. Excellent, we win in all these battles, which is to be expected. Let's try to go directly into Tobruk. We'll press shift and add one more province to the 80th, have them come down here. Alright, so this is a block. I think I can do this with just 2 now. After the 81st, I want them to come here. Here, alright then. Now let's go back to the naval battle. Alright, we took the island. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and take the port of Mili, because again it gives the Japanese a place to base their navy at. Let's take it out with Vandegrift and the 2nd Marines. Looks like the 9th Fleet got into some combat somewhere. Excuse me, I'm not exactly sure. It must have been the German bombers. Alright, we've got another mechanized unit. This will be the 6th mechanized. And we're going to give them a offensive doctrine leader. I'm going to give them, here we go. Alright, our reinforcements have come into place. Let's see if they can, notice this is a German unit under Italian control. You can tell by the little Germany flag. We want these guys to go back to the port. And it looks like we're going to get Millie. Now I can see these headquarters units. I think what I'm going to do is send Nimitz over and bomb them with the CAGs. These guys are going to proceed nicely. But I can see here that just as the Italian divisions are going to move behind the 79th Infantry, you can see that the 80th moved forward and engaged them, and that's excellent. And we're going to get Tobruk. Going back to the Marines. Now that Nimitz is over, we're going to start ground attack. Let's see what we're dealing with here. 2 headquarters units, okay? Alright, that's proceeding nicely. We'll check out Fletcher. I'm going to check. I can see that he's low on supplies. So let's click on the supply map mode, hover over this region. We can see on the bottom right here that local supply is 126 and required daily is 89, and the port can ship in 107. So that's good. It's being supplied from Oslo. But we can see here this hash, red hash, means that this particular province is overburdened. The supply is coming into Oslo. That's my supply depot for this particular location. And the supplies are moving this route over to Bergen. And however, it requires so much supplies to move, the infrastructure of this province, which is only level 4, is not able to handle it. I'm going to go ahead and give it, actually I'm going to max it out. I don't know how long it'll take, when it'll do it. But to help alleviate that problem is I'm going to remove the TAC and the strategic and then move them over here where the supplies are at. That means that instead of 126, instead of 89.13 on a daily basis, Bergen only requires now 56.52. So that dropped it by 30 points of supply. You notice that that alleviated the supply bottleneck here now. So we've got a good flow of supply into Bergen. I'm not overextending that port any longer, nor any of the provinces along the way. That means that Fletcher will now start fully supplying. Excellent, excellent. Notice it said there are 3 days of supplies left in Bergen. Now it says 4. It's going back up, and that's exactly what we want. Now that we have Millie, let's move into the port. Pick up the Marines, the 2nd Marines. We'll also move into this port and pick up the 1st Marines. Look at that. A lot of upgrades have been done. I like that. Let's check in on our CAGs. They're working on those headquarters units. And we're going to move down. I'm going to go ahead and take out, like I said, take out Ulithi and Yap. this was just a burden, a problem, so I wanted to get rid of that. And now that the 8th Transport Flotilla is at Norfolk, we can go ahead and grab the 5th Army, move them down to Kwajalein, pick up our Marines. I'm going to move the Marines to truck. We're going to move Halsey to truck and King to truck. We're going to put Kaufbus into Kwajalein so he can do some repairs. And we're going to check back on Africa. Alright, so we've cleaned up the original British holdings here in this portion of Africa. We've reopened the canal. Our forces are moving to take the last of the Italian holdings. Again, holding shift and right clicking where I want them to go. We're just going to order them to take all of this and then head back up to Alexandria. Alright, we're going to press on here from both directions. I'm going to move these guys back. More upgrades. Okay. Looks like everybody's ready to go. Let's check the Marines. Almost. We're going to wait a little bit on them. Looks like we may have destroyed, Nimitz may have destroyed these headquarters units altogether, which is easy to do when they're in this situation because you can see they have no way, no port, no way for them to get reinforcements. Excellent. More protection for our carriers. Alright, Fletcher is almost fully back up to speed. He's got 7 days. Notice here you can see a lot of German forces leaving. And I see that, let's go ahead and, I don't want them to pull those forces out. We want to destroy them if we can. So let's go ahead and invade. Once I'm not going to port strike these naval units because I want to land in Trondheim and I'm going to need that port to be able to supply myself possibly. I want the infrastructure to be good. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Fletcher there with his carrier fleet. We're going to land the 4th Army Corps there, and that will force, once we take the province and the port, it will force the German ships out directly into Fletcher, and then he can take care of them, and we've preserved whatever level the port is at this time. So let's see what we can do. Now we're going to take 2 divisions directly into Trondheim. Then we're going to take 1 into here and 1 into Hell to slow down this division here from getting to Trondheim. That will tie them up. Doesn't matter if we can win that or not. We just want to tie them up, tie them down while my actual main invasion goes into Trondheim. Excellent. Excellent. So you can see those Japanese transport, German transports forced out of the port directly into Fletcher. He should make short work of them. So now this is interesting. We've got this division, this German division that was moving into Trondheim is now fighting my divisions that landed there and a division from the coast. So he should have, and he's got shore bombardment, not very much though. So he should have a rough deal, rough time of it. We'll go ahead and have this guy clean up where he can and then come back to Trondheim. Well, look at that. Look at that. I'm going to try. Let's see if we can get Fletcher to catch him. And while he's chasing that German fleet, we're going to add these guys to the 6th Mechanized and put in a Commander. Palmer. Alright, now let's take the Marines again. We're going to put an end to these Japanese Marines here. We'll check back in Africa. Looking good. I don't want the 85th to get too far ahead of the 93rd, so you can see they're paused right now. But I do want the 93rd to go ahead and come up here and catch up to them. Okay, we've won the Battle of Trondheim, which is to be expected. Now let's take in the 1st Marines again. We're going to start with the port right off the bat. And while the 1st is capturing the port, we're going to send in the 2nd against these Marines here. And the 3rd against all their headquarters units here. We'll let that play out while we check back in Africa. We won the battle there. And we're going to check back in Norway. I guess I was not able to capture that German fleet, which I didn't think I'd be able to, but it never hurts to try. Although I just noticed, unless we're going to move Fletcher up here because there's another German fleet up here. Okay, now we're going to start moving. We're going to leave the headquarters unit, which is still on the transport fleet. The 4th Army, our 4th Army Corps. We're going to leave Guthrie here, and we're going to send 2 of his divisions chasing the Germans. And we're going to take the 4th, which is the Iron Horse Division, put them on the transport and take them up here and land at this port also. We're going to deny them any source of supply. And hopefully, I don't hold out much. Look at there. The Germans found me. Hopefully we'll take them down. Excellent. Nice. I don't really hold out much hope that they're going to be able to take this province, but we'll see. Narvik. If there's nothing defending it, yeah, there's nothing defending it. Okay. You can see this is a tough battle for the 1st Marines. Oh, there's a lot of forces here. Did not realize that when we started. So I'm going to call upon Smith, HM, Howling Mad Smith, to assist. And I'm going to call off Geiger for the moment. We just want Smith. Now, the way you move a unit back into a transport, I may have mentioned this before, but I'm going to do it again since I happen to be doing that, is you select the unit. You notice there's no port here. So I need him to get back into a transport. So select the unit, press and hold Control and right-click, and give it a move order, and it will move back into the transport fleet, even though there is no port. We'll wait a bit for him to do that. Okay, so now we're going to immediately engage this German armored division. We're going to move the 9th back down to Bergen. And we're going to see if Republican, yes, they want some PBYs. We'll give it to them. This is probably not going to end well because I'm fighting an armored unit, but I do have armored tank, or anti-tank. What I can do is we can use Fletcher, the Kags and Fletcher's fleet, to ground attack the German armor. That's what we want to do. And we're going to move Nimitz back to Guam. We won that battle. Excellent. Okay, the 93rd is almost caught back up. These guys are clearing out. The Brits are still holding here. I'm very surprised. I would have thought they wouldn't be, but then again, because as you know, if you recall, the Germans have already won against the Russians, so they can move their forces at will. They have forces they can move around. Excellent. Alright, now that the 3rd Marines are back in the transport fleet, we're going to send them against Ulithi. There are a lot. I may have to. I'm going to port strike also, because we need to bring that port level down, because there's a lot of forces here. Oh, and a battleship. I didn't realize there was a Japanese battleship and a heavy cruiser. Transport flotillas and 2 destroyer flotillas. But what we want to do is reduce the port. Oh yeah, the port's already trashed. Excellent. Again, add to the 6 mechanized, and we've got some dive bombers. Outstanding. Alright, that was heavy cruiser. Take that out, go back into the land tab. Special forces, which will help my Marines. Alright, also want Van de Griff. Boy, he really, that was a tougher battle than I expected. We're going to leave him there just a moment. We'll go ahead and take him off. Move him into the transport fleet. Alright, we're going to have the 6 mechanized all fleshed out here shortly. Alright, so we did win that battle. We can recall Fletcher's CAGs. And we're going to chase this German. He can't go very far because there's due to the infrastructure, he's going to be stuck. There's no place he can go. This guy's going to finish cleaning up. Both of these are ready to go. So we're going to order the 31st, again, by selecting and holding shift and right clicking. We're going to actually dictate the course he takes. And we'll do the same thing with the 38th. Although, with this armored unit, I'm not sure we're going to make it through. Let's see what happens once he engages that armored unit. It all depends on their level of supply, I guess. Negative 50, lack of supplies. Excellent. You can see that the infrastructure from where I was bombing earlier is still pretty bad. This is a tough nut to crack right here. There's a lot of units there. So we're going to switch. The port is toast. We're going to switch to ground attack. I could bring those dive bombers we just got over to truck. I don't know if they'd have the range to hit Ulithi. But we'll let the CAGs see what they can do, and that'll let us check. You can see they're out of supplies, but there are a lot of Marines. Look how many Marine divisions are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least 10 Marine divisions are in Ulithi. And this should complete the 6 mechanized. Alright, and we've got the 5th down there to protect Kwajalein. Let's look at, we can give these guys headquarters, or leaders. Excellent. Alright, I'm going to good time to end the video. You can see that we've made some pretty good progress. Looks like we've been able to blunt the German attack into Norway. It remains to be seen if we're going to be able to take out that particular heavy armor division and a regular armor division. And it remains to be seen if we're going to be able to take Ulithi on this go. We may have to pull back, go back to truck, regroup, reorganize, and try again. Thank you for watching. Again, if you have any comments, any questions, feel free to type in the comment section below. I do check these and will answer any. Ciao.